have to wait till it's green, then I can walk. And this video is going to be a bit long, not 20 or 30 minutes, I hope, maybe 10, 15 minutes, it depends. Well, what you see here, oh, it's green, you can see over there. These are traffic signs, also this below me. And why did I show those traffic signs? I'll explain right now. We have been conditioned by the authority figures during our upbringing to value traffic signs. For example, back then it was red. The light was red, so I stopped. Well, it's just a lamp with a red light. So I could have just walked if I wanted. But I know that in order for there to be safety and regularity on the road, people need to cooperate with one another. So when it's red, I stop. Even if there was no car on the road at all, it would have been different. But there were cars on the road, so I stop. Why? That's a practical thing to do. Is this a natural thing? No, it is a constructed thing. It has been constructed by the society around me, and it has been conditioned onto the members of the society. And it works. So there's nothing wrong with having a social construction that has been conditioned onto people. So I've built up an attachment to those traffic signs. And traffic signs are kind of similar worldwide. So because of that, if I go to, let's say, Japan, there are similar signs, traffic signs over there. So I understand. So when I see those traffic signs, in my brain, the image is provoked and the message, you need to stop or you can walk. So there's nothing wrong with an attachment in itself. But your attitude to the attachment, that's what I want to talk about. All right, so let's talk about this over here. Hold on. What is this? Let me show it clearly onto you. This is a 1,000 yen bill. It's Japanese currency. In Japan, you can use this. Here in Europe, or if you go to Latin America, you can't use it. You need to exchange it for the local currency. So this over here is, in Japan, it's currency, and when you can use it, it's money. Look, if you are on an airplane and you're about to, how do I say it, you're about to die because the plane is crashing, then this, you can't use it. It's currency but not money. Or if you're in a store and you want to purchase some groceries in Japan, then this currency becomes money. So currency is the object itself, it's the construction itself, and money is the practical use of it in the right context. That's the purchasing power. So this has purchasing power, then it's money, but only in the right context. Apart from that, it's just currency. Now, why am I speaking about this? It's because a lot of people, they have a fear-based attachment, or let me say a fear-centered attitude towards currency. And what I mean with this fear-based or fear-centered attitude, it comes down to the following. People have been conditioned that without currency, or let me say without money, you can't purchase things. And that's a factual thing. In society, you purchase things by using the currency of the nation. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a practical thing. For example, if I'm a fisherman and I have a loss of fish and I need to get rid of the fish, to throw the fish away would be a waste, but I cannot just hand over the fish to other people because maybe they can't consume the fish or they can't store the fish. So it's good then that there is like some business that imports the fish from me and they give compensation to me, and I can use that compensation to provide for my family by purchasing bread. So there's nothing wrong with currency in itself, and there's nothing wrong with currency being money in the right context. But a lot of folks, they rely on purchasing power. Well, let me say they rely upon the purchasing power that currency provides. That's what the Bible calls the love of money. And the love of money is based on this fearful attitude towards currency. The fearful attitude is, if I don't have enough of it, something bad is going to happen. Or I need to make sure I have enough money, or else I'm not a man, or else I'm not a woman, or else I'm not grown, or else I'm not disciplined, or else. So you have all these thought patterns that people associate with currency that they should not relate to currency. And these wrong thoughts is what generates this fear that if they don't have enough, something bad is going to happen. And this fearful attitude needs to disappear. And the only way this fearful attitude will disappear is when you confront those wrong thinking patterns and agree with Christ. And by agreeing with Christ, those wrong thinking patterns are dissolved. And then there will be no love of money in you anymore. Because listen, as long as you have the love of money in your mind, okay, demons have a hold of you. Let me repeat that one more time, because maybe I should raise my voice for you to understand it, because it's something very seriously. As long as you have the love of money in you, demons have a hold of you. Understand that. That's something very serious. That's something very dangerous. Because that mindset, that fearful attitude towards currency, that's supported by all those root thoughts that are not in agreement with Christ, is darkness. And you're not aware of all those other thoughts that have been conditioned onto you. You're not aware that this is these thoughts that keep you trapped to the love of money. Many people think that the love of money is when criminals rob a store just to get some money. People call that greed. No, the love of money is when you hold on to the purchasing power of currency. Because currency itself is not neutral. It never is. It's a social construction, so it's not neutral at all. And the amount of currency that's made depends upon the need of that society, the need of that community. For example, I'm going to give an illustration now. Let's say I had my own country, Emilia. I'm just making up a name. My second name is Emiliano, so let's say I had a country called Emilia. Emilia is an island in the Pacific, and on that island you have 500 people. Or let me make the number higher, you have 8,000 people living on that island. And most of them are farmers, some are fishermen, and a few are into merchandise. They have ships that travel towards the Philippines or to other neighboring regions. So I, as a president now, has to come up with a currency that people can use to exchange goods and services. If there are only 8,000 people, and many of them are minors, many of them are also children, I'm not going to mint, let's say, 5 million coins. Because it's just a small island with around 8,000 people, the population is not going to grow, so probably the population will remain the same or it will may even decrease. The island doesn't have many natural resources they can trade with, so I'm not going to mint 5,000 coins or, let's say, 1 million banknotes. Why would I do that? It's not practical. Because if you would make so much of that currency, if you are debasing the currency, you are debasing the social construct. So it wouldn't be worth much. So I look at who has the most land, who has the most economic potential, and based on all of that, you design a currency and you print or you mint the amount of it. That's how it works. So currency, I just use an example now of that fictive country, Emilia, but that's how it goes in the world. Currency is never neutral. So money, that purchasing power of currency, is never neutral either. And now just think about this for a moment. This implies that when you have the love of money, you are venerating or worshipping the social construct of currency. That implies that you are attached, that you are holding on to all the agreements behind a currency. That includes all the violence, because most people in the world, they don't follow Christ. They're not born again. They're in darkness. So there's violence involved economically, especially among the rich. And it's the rich that influence the economic policies in the world. So when you hold on to the love of money, or when you have the love of money in you, you are supporting the violence behind that currency. And those people behind the currency, they are pagans. They worship the beast. So you are indirectly worshiping the beast also. So that's why when you have the love of money, demons have a hold of you. Violence gets a hold of you. Haven't you noticed that a lot of folks, when they have a lot of currency, they tend to so-called change, they become more violent? It's because violence has a hold of you when you have the love of money. That's why the word tells us not to have the love of money, but to be satisfied with His provision for us. Now look, currency is around, okay? In your daily life, you're dealing with currency. So you're not going to pretend that currency has no relevance at all. It has a relevance, but the only relevance it has is as a purchasing item. It has an item to exchange goods and services. So that purchasing power, that's the only relevance it has in the right context. Apart from that, it's just a made-up construct. That made-up construct has its relevance, so again, you're not denying it, but evaluate whether or not you have the love of money. Because a lot of folks, that also includes a lot of believers, the reason why some troubles are haunting you is because of your wrong relationship to currency. Don't just dismiss what I've just said. Just evaluate all that I said in this video. Evaluate how you relate to currency. Evaluate your attitude towards it. Because if your attitude towards currency is not in line with Christ, you are in agreement with demons. You are in agreement with violence. And by being in agreement with that, being in such agreement, you are paranormally active in your thinking. And by being paranormally active, you keep violence and all its consequences around you. You are energizing violence because of it. So a lot of believers, they go to seminars where they speak about financial prosperity. They talk about you need to pray and walk in faith, they invest, sowing your seeds and all of that. Okay, look. I'm not going into the prosperity gospel because I've already made a video in which I debunked it and I revealed what kind of trap it is. There is real prosperity available to believers. That's our birthright in Christ. But it's not the prosperity as the world offers. And here's the thing. Satan has his type of prosperity that is similar to biblical prosperity. And he even uses Bible verses to support his counterfeit prosperity. And there are many believers that fall for the counterfeit prosperity that Satan is offering, which is paranormal. Look, before you want to operate in abundance, you have to be delivered from the love of money. Because when you carry the love of money with you, realize that the love of money is the root of all evil. Because the love of money simply reveals that you don't trust the Most High. Simply reveals that you don't trust the gospel. Look, the love of money is a stronghold that needs to be broken down. Rewire your thinking when it comes to currency. You do that by agreeing with the word. So I'm pleading to you, do that. Be at peace.